Here is Shishi's Shadow, who we are just calling Shadow. And this is Alyssa riding her. I've kind of given her to Alyssa to bring along a little bit. I rode her a few times, and it was very obvious that she is extremely quiet and kind. And I just thought she'd be a great one for Alyssa to work with. So Alyssa's put a lot of time into her for the last week or so, and I think they look fantastic together. So she is a 16 two-hand 4-year-old thoroughbred mare, and she's probably had around a dozen post-track rides now. And she is coming along really nicely. She is much, much straighter through her shoulders and her entire body. She is figuring out the contact nicely. She's starting to get some good bend and flexion through her top line. And she's definitely just feeling much better in her body. Alyssa, I know, has been working really hard with her. And so, excuse me if you can hear my phone. Let me silence it. So in this ride, it is extremely hot out. It's like in the 90s and 100% humidity, so it's quite miserable. So we tried to keep it as short and sweet as possible, and it's still the morning in this video. I don't even think it was the afternoon yet. So we introduced her to some poles and my little fillers in the ring at the end of this ride, which we only would have done if we thought she was going to be exceedingly easy because it's just too hot to be out there with a horse who's unsure about that kind of stuff right now in this weather. But she was excellent. She couldn't have been more brave and willing to do all the things. So the first part of this video is just Alyssa working her on the flat. And again, she's done a great job. I mean, the mare still obviously needs to build strength and still working on perfecting the connection and the flexion and all of those things. But of course, that all takes a very long time. But I think in the dozen or so rides that she's had here, she has come a very long way. If you go back and watch her first post-track ride with me and then watch this video, it is pretty obvious how far she's come in a very short amount of time. I had someone asking me about her, if she's quiet, and the answer is yes, she is unbelievably quiet. I mean, this is a horse that I would never think I would ever have to put on the lunge line before getting on. And that's part of the reason that I like having Alyssa ride her, because my top priority really with Alyssa is that I want to keep her safe. So I'm not going to put her on horses that I think are questionable in their behavior. So I think she's doing a fantastic job with this mare. And also, I just have a lot of faith in Shadow to be well mannered and be kind, which she has been at all times. So in her trot work, she has gotten very straight. There's no more head twisting in the trot work. That all looks really good. In the canter, she's just not quite strong enough yet to put it all together. So she gives some moments where she's nice and straight or nicely flexed and everything is aligned as you would like right about here. That looks quite nice. And then in other moments, it's just really hard for her. And so she'll sort of twist a little bit to evade coming all the way through, which is fine. I mean, all you can do is just keep asking, and she keeps giving a little bit more every time, and so it is coming along. And then I thought this trot work here after she cantered was really, really nice. She is pretty equal, I would say. I don't think she heavily favors one side or the other. I think that her left canter is probably a little bit easier for her, just in the sense that I think that she's a little straighter in the left canter compared to the right. But it's not a huge or drastic difference. These are some really nice steps here coming down the long side. Yeah, and there's just some good steps right here too. She's definitely getting it. I mean, she makes a beautiful shape when she is right there. And she is much steadier. Even in her moments of bobble, when she loses the bend or comes above or behind a little bit, above or below, excuse me, it's not nearly as exaggerated as it was in her first couple of rides. Her canter transitions have also come a long way. They were at first just a very long run-on sentence, and now she is starting to understand the aids to step into the canter. Now, it's still obviously it's not perfect. It's going to get a lot better. And when she steps into the canter, because it's a little bit disorganized still in the transition, she's a little bit twisty at first in the canter. But as you can see here, Alyssa had some really nice canter work to the left. And so once she sort of settles into her balance and her tempo, then you can work with her on finding the connection you want, finding some bend, and that twistiness goes away. Yeah, I thought this was really good here. I feel like I'm really struggling with my words, so apologies. And then again, after she canters, her trot work looks really nice. So coming to these things, first we spent a bit of time. She needed a nice long walk break anyway, so we spent quite a bit of time just walking over everything in the ring. This video was just getting way too long. And actually, I will admit I didn't video it because I'm almost never the person on the ground taking video. And I will say that my hand and my arm was getting so tired that I just couldn't video when she was walking. I needed to take a break. So there you go. Sort of embarrassing, and huge props to all the people who do video for me and don't complain and don't take a break. But she was very willing in the walk. There was nothing dramatic about it. It was quite boring in a good way. Kind of similar to how she is here when she picked up the trot. I mean, this is not a big deal. She stays relatively straight, not a lot of wobbling, but you expect wobbling. That's perfectly normal. And everything is so small that should she stop and have a learning moment, there's absolutely no worries about just popping over it from a standstill or obviously from a walk. But that honestly, that never happened. She was always willing to go over the thing, whatever the thing was. She did not think any of this was extremely overwhelming at all. In fact, it was underwhelming, which is great. We want them to think that they're brilliant and this is all easy. And so there she made a little bit of a nicer shape, but then she landed in a canter a little bit disorganized, but that's okay. She made a good effort over that. Also a cute little effort over there and over that, and then there she landed much straighter and less fussy in the contact. So she just needs a ton of repetition. And there you go. That was really good too. Good girl. And then we just ended with a little split cross rail here. Super good.